Welcome to another top pick based on originality, condition, and price. Our feature car today is a 2000 Honda Insight Hybrid. You're going to like this one, folks. My name is Rob LoFarice. You're watching Rob's Top Car Picks. Let's check this car out. I found this car on Facebook Marketplace a little while ago. It's a 2000 Honda Hybrid Insight. It was the first Insight built before they went to four doors, and this one has a hatchback and all. And I think you may have remembered this car if you're watching this channel with me. It's a very unique design, and we'll talk about this car real quick. The 2000 Honda Hybrid, this one here has 98,000 miles. The gentleman that owns the car sounds like a private owner. He put in a brand new lithium battery in November of 2023. Again, it's privately owned. He's looking for $8,500 or best offer, and the car is located in Virginia. It's not an easy or inexpensive trick to change the hybrid batteries. I looked into these cars, I know them pretty well. And you're going to be talking, by the time you buy the battery, bring the car into the Honda dealer to make the new battery up with the chassis, you're going to be over $3,500 easy to get that done. So he's put some money into this car. And we'll talk about that and do a walk around real quick. But I'm a fairly big fan of these well engineered cars, and they were one of the first early hybrids from Honda. So at the same time, Honda built this car. The Toyota came out with their first generation Prius. And that first car came out on the Echo platform. If you remember that Echo car, that was a little strange looking car as well. But this car here was designed at the same sub assembly plant where they built the Acura NSX and the Honda S2000. So during the days of 2000, Honda was flush with a lot of cash. They were making records in Consumer Reports. They were the best quality cars on the road, no doubt. Huge following. They were really rocking and rolling at the time. But what they decided to do was put a little money into research and development, and they decided to build three Halo cars for their showrooms. And the first one was the Acura NSX, and we all know where the prices on those cars are, $100,000 plus. The Honda S2000, that's that sports car that goes 19, 20,000, no, let's say 19,000 RPMs. And then this hybrid from Honda, which again, these were all aluminum bodied cars. The money that it cost Honda to make these things, they never saw it back in any type of profits. These cars were limited production cars. They only made 17,000 of these cars globally over a 7-year time period. And most of them here in the United States were automatic transmission, but this one is a manual transmission with the new battery, makes this car very desirable. The seller states some TLC issues, and we'll get into that, and we'll look at the ad right now and see if we can tear it apart a little bit. The car is located in Virginia, 98,000 miles. I'm not sure how many miles the car had with the new battery that went in November, but I'm thinking the car probably had, 90,000 miles at least. If you look at the whole concept of this car was getting high fuel efficiency, no doubt, right? So if you look at the beautiful, styling of the car, it's really like a teardrop, right? So a teardrop going through air is one of the most aerodynamic, functions. And this car, with its rear fender flares, with the wheel covers here, you can see how aerodynamic this car is, and you can see how the air, when it goes over the hood, it doesn't meet any obstruction. It just flows, and the car flows very nicely. The car had smaller, narrow tires. They filled those air pressures up to 40 pounds psi, so you were driving on a narrow tire. And the claimed miles to the gallon on this car was about 61 miles to the gallon on the highway. Some people can get that, but most people got at least 55 miles to the gallon on the highway. And with a manual transmission, you'd probably get close to 45, even 50 miles to the gallon in the city driving as well. So these cars were halo cars. They were designed to help boost the environment that, Honda was leading in certain attributes of safety, also on economy and as well as performance with the S2000. And again, the Acura NSX was built off the same assembly line. So these three models were quite impressive for its time. And looking at the photos, let's see what else he's writing here. The puts down here that the car was a Texas car until October. Garage kept to Virginia. Since then, driven in the mild winter. We just had brand new lithium batteries. He did an 800-mile round trip to Ohio last weekend and got 56 miles to the gallon. He says the suspension creaks a little bit and really shows over speed bumps. He's got a small tear in the passenger seat latch. So, he's pointing out some things on the car. And then he also has some rub on the roof. But again, you can look at the body lines on this car. It's an all aluminum car. It's really very stylish. It's a love it or leave it type look, but I think it's really beautiful for its time. You can't find these. And look at even the aerodynamics of the bottom cladding here. It's all designed to, just skirt the air right off. So you have less and less wind resistance on this car as you're at speed of 60, 70 miles an hour. And these cars went 75, 85, 90 miles an hour, depending on how fast you wanted to take them. But they were pretty decent cars. They had a 3-cylinder engine. The hybrid battery, I believe, is in the floor or the rear trunk area. Um, it's got the original wheels. The wheels don't look like they're scuffed anywhere. They look original. I don't see any paint overspray, so I'm thinking that it's original paint on this car. And there's the side skirts that come on and off. So if you have to change the tire, you can take them off easily. And in the interior, the big thrill about this car being interior is that it does have a manual transmission, and a lot of these cars were produced without manual transmissions, and this car's got the manual, so that's very desirable. The seats look really nice. I know he said he had a little tear in the seats. I don't see it here in the photo, but they look original. The dashboard looks really nice. He gives some readout of what the cells are, minimum, maximum cells as far as what he gets out of the cells. So this must be his own setup here. So it's like Back to the Future. He can see how his cells are going because he put he probably put an aftermarket battery in, but I'm sure that would be good for another 100,000 miles. And there's your manual transmission. He's got a cargo net back there. You got enough to put cargo, but that's about it. It's strictly a two-seater car. Headliner looks good, and it's got 2 keys, which is nice. The owner's manual, the original spare tire, and some tools. And there's that scuff on the top of the roof. Again, this is an aluminum roof. It shows a little weather here, so the car may have been left out in the winter a little bit more than he's talking about. And there's his antenna, and he's got a wiper in the back with a windshield there. So I don't know how bad this is, but you can spot this whole roof if you wanted to paint this roof over. You can probably spot that pretty well, and it won't really look like it was repainted. But that's it, folks. I mean, this car. So now this car is asking $8,500. What is it worth? I don't know. It's like, to me, it's worth probably at least $7,000 with the battery. If you like these cars, you'll find these cars on the internet at $5,000. They're garbage. At $10,000, they're better. So this car is in the middle of that $5,000 to $10,000 range. And the real attraction to me on this car is that it has a new battery, and it also is a manual transmission. A lot of fun to own, a lot of fun to drive. Again, you got to love this car like I do to appreciate it. But in 10 years' time, I think these cars will be quite sought after, and because they really were a significant milestone in what Honda was trying to achieve. And it will never appreciate or be as expensive as a Honda S2000 or Acura NSX, but it will have a pedigree of its own, knowing that it came from the same family and the same time period. That wraps up this top pick. For more information on this car, please visit our Facebook page, and you can find that there. And there's that link right over here. You go right on that link. We'll take you to the Facebook page. If you enjoy this channel, please give a thumbs up and please subscribe as well. We appreciate your support. We'll see you again real soon on another Rob's Top Picks. Till then, thanks very much for joining us. Have a good night. Bye.